had enough sex to last me a lifetime. And I'm pretty sure I don't want to have sex with you. Oh no. I want to make love to you. After 3 weddings, you kind of get to the point where you're able to tell those who are here for the booze, those who hope to find love, and people like us, who are here simply because we don't have a choice.
Alright guys, so welcome back. So like I said, the very first movie that I'll be reviewing today is a Ghanaian movie titled Letter from Adam. The movie was produced by Lydia Forson and directed by Sam Kesey. The movie features Lydia Forson herself and Nollywood actor Wale Ojo. Now, this movie tells the story of a particular young lady. She was in a relationship, vivacious young lady. She seemed happy until she found out that her boyfriend was getting married to someone else. And so she just went wild. She started engaging in a lot of sexual indiscretions. I'll just describe them that way. Until she met this other guy, fell in love, and then series of events start taking place right after that. I'm going to stop right there. I'm giving this movie 3.5 over 5. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really, really good movie, but there were a few reservations from my end. Let me tell you what I loved about it. The picture quality was good. Sound design was good. Cinematography was beautiful. I loved the costumes. I loved the set designs and all of that. I especially loved the chemistry between Wale Ojo and Lydia Forson. Oh my gosh. The very first time I saw both of them was in this movie, Phone Swap, produced by Kunle Afolayan. Yes, I saw them in Phone Swap, but we didn't get to experience them together a lot. So when I found out that he was going to be in Letter from Adam, I was like, okay, I wonder what that's going to look like, right? And then I watched this movie and the chemistry was like it gave me goosebumps, literally. It was so good watching Lydia and Wale Ojo together. Really, really good chemistry. They worked well together and they bounced, off of each other's energy and all of that. I also love the fact that they infused Ghanaian tribal languages in various parts of the movies. Of course, they subtitled when they did, so I love that as well. Then I like the casting. I already mentioned that. I liked the storyline. I liked the fact that by the time we got to the ending, we had like a surprise, like, oh my gosh, it did not end the way I thought it was supposed to end, So there were lots of things that went really well with this film, but equally there were a few things that went wrong with it. Number one, there was little to no soundtrack. Now, have you experienced those Nollywood films where, I don't know if it's like some sort of effect they're trying to achieve or something, but it's just dead. It's just like, there's no soundtrack, there's no background music, there's nothing. And we've not started acting, and then we're just sitting there waiting like, okay, something is going to happen. Do you understand? So it made the movie quite boring in a few places. It was just like, okay, we're waiting for something to happen. And then the pacing was a bit slow. Because you're like, it was just like 3 things were going on together at the same time. The pacing was a bit slow. Now, lighting. Oh, this movie, it could have been exceptional if they got the lighting right. I don't know if the gaffer slept off or if the director was not looking at what was going on the director's screen, or if the cinematographer and cameraman, I don't know what was going on that set, but couldn't they see that it was not well lit? It was almost as if they were using torchlight or something to shoot, but the lighting was terrible. Half of it was dark, It made it a bit painful to watch, because then you're like, it's not so clear and all of that. So all of that coming together made me come to the conclusion to give this movie a 3.5 over 5. I still thought it was a really, really good movie. Should you watch it? Absolutely. I think you would enjoy it. I think it would make for a good afternoon, kind of like chill at home, just watch the film and all of that. I think yeah, you should definitely watch it if you do want to watch it, okay? Like I said, I have 2 movie reviews for you today, 2 Ghanaian movies I'll be reviewing for you today. That's the very first one I just finished with. We're gonna take a quick break, and then when we come back, I'll go right into the second movie review of the movie titled Love or Something Like That, directed by Shirley Fipo-Mansley. Yes, I'm sure you've heard about it. And I love her. She's a fantastic director. I love this one. I can't wait to talk to you about it, okay? So sit down and we'll be right back.
rap doctor. It's a one mic jam.
You have to get tested.
Have to try and forgive yourself.
You abandoned me at my most vulnerable state. You don't even look at me anymore. I disgust you.
No, I disgust myself.
Alright guys, welcome back. So the second movie I'll be talking to you about today is titled Love or Something Like That. It's a Ghanaian movie that was directed by Shirley Finkpong Manso. The movie features O.C. KJ, Nollywood actor Justin Dumans, and John Dumelo. I absolutely loved this film. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was amazing, and that's why I'm ending this season with it. I'm giving it a 4/5. Yes! I loved it. The storyline was quite creative. It talks about a particularly young surgeon. She was married. You know, she seems like everything was going well for her until she runs into her ex-boyfriend who happens to be dying, and then she just decided to help him out, and a lot of, you know, secrets and things that she wasn't aware of started, you know, unveiling, and was threatening a marriage. And okay, was she gonna leave her marriage to go get back together with this ex-boyfriend of hers and all of that? So there were lots of things I loved about this film, and that's why I'm giving it 4/5. I loved it. I mean, let's start with the director, Shirley Finkpong Manso. She's a fantastic film director. If you look at her track record, she can hardly do any wrong, and she did not do any wrong with this film. So she directed it so well. She brought the best out of each of the characters. I mean, I saw a side of John Miller I'd never seen before. So I really liked the fact that all three cast members, well, lead cast, worked well together. Then another thing I liked was the casting. The infusion of O.C. KJ, a Nigerian actor, into the mix kind of stirred things up a bit, and I loved that as well. Now, I loved the makeup. You should have seen O.C. KJ sick. You would have been crying for him. The makeup was well done. It looked real, like, yeah, it was dying of maybe cancer or some lung disease or something, you know. So that it looked really good. And then I love the attention to detail, the set design. I love the dialogue as well. There were a few scenes, you know, Justin Dumans played the character of a surgeon, so there were a few scenes where they had to show her at the hospital trying to save a life. And you know, if you watch Grey's Anatomy or ER or things like that, you know how fast-paced it normally is. I'm going to come back to that in a bit. But I love the fact that they had, like, you know, scrubs and cover their heads, wash their hands. They had, it wasn't perfect, but it was better than typical Nollywood films. So I love that as well. So all of that came together, cinematography, picture, sound, design, all of that came together to make it a really, really good film. But it was not perfect. Now, I'm going to take you back to the set design and all of that. Now, when they were shooting the hospital scenes, it was a bit slow. It wasn't as fast-paced as you would have expected it to be. You could tell that the extras who played nurses and all that, and co-doctors and all of that, you could tell they weren't acting. They were delivering their lines. Oh, doctor, so we are going to have to cut his heart out. Oh, doctor, we need to... Like, I almost let off. Because I was like, really? Really? I'm not convinced. Yeah, so, you know, you can imagine how, when you're watching Grey's Anatomy and all these medical TV shows, it's always very fast-paced. Like, oh my gosh, your heart is racing like someone is going to die. But in this one, it was just kind of like, oh, okay. Oh, how sad. Oh, how unfortunate. You know, it was very draggy, very slow. They couldn't even act well. And then I think it was very difficult for them to remember the technical terms. So that was something I didn't like. And another thing I did not like about this film was the fact that it was one-dimensional. It was just about these three characters alone. So for like 2 hours, we were just watching their lives and we were just watching the story. So it made it a bit kind of boring and draggy and dryish, you know, because there was nothing else going on other than these three people. So we're stuck watching them, right? Which wasn't a terrible thing. I would have just liked to have some diversion from these three people, okay? But at the end of the day, I loved it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was beautiful. I thought Shirley Finkpong Manso did a fantastic job with Love or Something Like That, okay? That's what I think of Love or Something Like That. Should you watch it? Absolutely, yes. You need to go watch it if you haven't already, okay?